I'm 30 years old and I don't have any friends. Yeah, that can be a hard thing to say when you realize you don't have any friends in your life. That can be really difficult, especially when you're someone who's my age. Well, I'm about to turn 30, I'm practically 30. And it can be really challenging. And if you're in a similar situation where you don't have any close people in your life, then I do understand. But there are some silver linings, and I want to share them with you because you might not have thought of these things and they might really be able to help you on your journey. The first thing is that you don't have any specific obligations to anybody. And so much of what's out there online is trying to teach you how to take time and energy away from all these energy and time vampires, these people that are sucking them away from you. But when you have no friends and it's just you and you're on your own grind that nobody else can understand, then you don't have those obligations to all these other people. And so you don't have to work to learn how to unlearn something, like giving all your time to somebody. And what do you get to do in return? You get to focus on what actually matters to you. You don't need to be worried about people that may or may not agree with what you're doing or support what you're doing or encourage what you're doing. You just get to pick what you want. You want to study something? Do you want to start a business? What is it? What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish while you're on the planet? And so if you don't have people that are forcing you to spend time with them or forcing you to go out and do things that you don't want to do, that you're just saying yes to fit in with the crowd like so many other people, then you find out that this is the first reason why maybe not having friends is an actual advantage. And I've understood this firsthand. I've created a lifestyle so that what people typically do with friends, right? They hang out all the time. They hang out day in and day out. They play games with each other. They go on phone calls all the time, all this sort of stuff, right? This might sound really, really good, but if you're a similar age to me, if you're in your 20s or even early 30s, right, there's huge advantages to not having any friends. And I want to tell you that firsthand because you get to choose what matters to you. And you don't need to unlearn, oh, well, I have to be, spending time with this person or that person. You just get to do what you want. You get to create really amazing things. And so this is such a big advantage if you see it as that. The second big is that all of the growth that I've done in my life has come in solitude. All of the main growth, all of the main sort of changes that I've had in my life where I've improved and I've gone from one stage to the next stage has all been done when I'm by myself. I'll go to the gym by myself. I'll do meditation by myself. I'll try and do all these things that I know are good for me, and they all work when you're by yourself. Think about it. When you go to the gym and you're with someone and you're talking and you're chatting, yeah, it can be kind of fun, but how much time are you wasting? And when you waste all that time, how much time is that stealing from other things that you could be doing that you could enjoy alone, where you could really find even more growth? And so I'm not saying don't have friends forever and don't bring people into your life and you get really close with them. What I'm saying is if you don't have any friends and you're a young person, that's totally okay because you are actually going to set yourself out on an advantageous path. So you get to learn how to teach yourself things. You get to learn how to achieve things. And the cool thing is when I look in the mirror and I commit to doing something, I really recognize that person as, oh my God, he's really going to do it. And why is that? Is because I've looked in that mirror in solitude so many times. And the only person looking back at me is me. And so I know anything that I can do, anything that I will achieve, I have to depend on myself. And so yes, not having friends can be difficult, but also it is, again, an advantage. And so if you're able to look at yourself and realize that that's a person that you can trust and you don't need to rely on anybody else, that is a superpower. That is a huge superpower, okay? The next thing that I want to point out is that most friends in your life, most friends in people's lives in general are accidental. Think about when you're a kid, right? And you have your first play date maybe as someone in grade school. Why is that? It's because you happen to be the same age as somebody else. And so you're in a class and then your parents say, hey, why don't we organize a play date or something like that, right? And then you go over to that person's house and you play with their toys or play video games or read a book or whatever it is you guys are doing together. And that's your accidental friend. How many of those people are still in your life today when you're close to my age, when you're in your 30s or, just about to approach your 30s? How many of those people are still in your life? Not many. Almost all of them pass, if not all of them. It's accidental. And then we move forward, right? And we go to like secondary school, middle school, high school. And it's the same thing where these people, most of these people, how many videos are there online of people saying, I'm no longer friends with my high school friends, right? How many times does that happen where people drop off and people change? Why is that? It's because you were all accidental friends. The people you were close with was a complete accident. And so it's not really the same thing as having an intentional friend. What is an intentional friend? That's someone where you guys have communal, shared goals. This goes back to growth. This is the opportunity to grow when not in solitude. I said a moment ago that you grow in solitude, and that's totally true. The vast majority will happen in solitude. But also, when you have common goals with someone, that is when you can evolve beyond what you expected to be possible. Seriously, it really is, because it's two people with individual goals that are then merging their abilities or merging their goals into a friendship, which then pushes those goals even further. The vast majority of friends that you have are accidental. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that if your goal is growth and you want to go as far as you possibly can in life, then your intentional friends are going to be the ones that really help you on that path. I mean, even think of it. There's this conversation about whether or not family or friends are more important. Why is that? is because friends can be so powerful because it's the family that you choose. You might even be familiar with the saying, blood is thicker than water. Now, most people think that that means blood is thicker than water, so that your family, people who you share blood with, should be a stronger alliance or a stronger allegiance to than the people that you don't share blood with. But what that actually means is it comes back from like Spartan times, okay? And what the full saying is that blood shed on the battlefield is thicker than water shared in the womb. So if you think about what that means, it's actually the opposite of what most people think it means. Brothers or sisters that fight alongside one another on the battlefield, people that you're not necessarily related to, that bond will strengthen you more than just because you shared your mother's water in the womb. So friends are actually more important than your family. Now, this might be an odd point to bring up in this video where I talk about not having friends, but my point here is that if you make intentional friends down the road, those are the people that are going to really help you grow, because you've spent the time in solitude to really understand what it is you want. And then you're actually building that by spending time in solitude and really actually doing that without the distractions. And now, my final point, once you do all that stuff and you really actually develop yourself, you're going to attract these intentional friends that I spoke about. Once you build that sort of personality in yourself, that is the time that you're really going to start to attract friends. And that's what I've began to realize at this point in my life. I spent a long time with friends, accidental people in my life that actually were not friends. And now, as I'm getting older, I'm seeing the people that I'm attracting into my life are now true friends. And so I'll put all these points together for you in a summary, okay? The first thing is, if you have no friends, just like I did to begin with, right? That's totally fine, because now you don't have obligations to waste time and waste resources. You can just be you and pursue what you want to pursue. The second thing is, because there's nobody there, you get to be in solitude. Not you have to be in solitude, you get to be in solitude. And what this means is that you get to spend time doing what you want to do and building, and that's where all the real growth happens, right? Is when it's in solitude. The third point is that most of your friends are accidental, but it's intentional friends that really help you grow, because it's both of you. It's these two individuals who have spent time growing in solitude that then come together and reinforce this mutual goal. And that might be in a certain project, that might be just being happier and happier, that might be exploring the universe's wonders through language or through real just experimentation and exploration. Who knows what that could be? And then finally, you eventually get to a point where you attract the right people into your life that are going to do incredible things with you and for you. And you're going to be able to do incredible things for them too. And so if you don't have any friends, it's really not that big of a deal, because you're going to spend the time in solitude. You're then going to have intentional friends, and then you're going to continue to attract the right people into your life. And so if you don't have any friends, I don't want you to be sad. I don't want you to feel pity for yourself. I want you to recognize that this is an opportunity to take action on things that are so much bigger than just like superficial friends, accidental friends, people that just happen to be in your environment at a certain age, at a certain time. I want you to understand that, because like I said a moment ago, blood is thicker than water. The blood shed on the battlefield is thicker than water shared in the womb. And you will meet people that you will shed blood together on the battlefield. And that's what's going to bring you so much further to wherever it is you want to go and whatever it is that makes you happy. So I hope you understand that, and hope you understand that if you don't have friends, it's totally fine, because they are coming. Real friends, intentional friends that will then help you grow. I hope you get that, and I hope you understand. One last time, I'll repeat it for the 100th time, because this is something that I wish someone told me when I was younger, is that if you have no friends, it is actually an advantage.